I'm going to turn now to James Creedon with our Truth or Fake segment, our daily fact-checking segment. Hi there. So you're showing us two videos that have been circulating on Facebook since September. They purport to show Muslims praying in the street and blocking traffic, and supposedly this is happening in the UK?
That's right. So the first video appeared on Facebook on the 27th of September. It has now been shared elsewhere since. I'll show you one version on Twitter. Now, what's common to all of these shares is the claim that it's happening in the UK. You can see here in the translated text, London in the grips of Islam. And if I play the video, you can see the scene here. And what's going on is you see a man, in fact, he is praying in the middle of traffic on a motorway. And there's commentary. His nephew, in fact, is commenting on what's going on, as I'll give you the details on that a little bit later on. But you can see the background, you can see the context of all of this, and there are quite a lot of clues as to where it may actually be, because the claim that it's in the UK is incorrect. There were details such as this car passing by, which is actually a taxi company, Taxi. It's an online taxi service in Istanbul. You also have this water brand, Erikli, that they do bottled water, also in Turkey. And indeed, if you listen to the Turkish that is actually audible in the background, which in itself doesn't give away location necessarily, but there is a man speaking about, in the first sentence, about the E5. My uncle is praying in the middle of the E5, so he's obviously concerned for his uncle. And if you do a keyword search on that, you come up with a news article that refers to the incident with the same video. An incident that didn't create any major consequences, but that it certainly did not happen in the UK.
Well, yeah, so that clearly wasn't London, but you have another video with the same claim, Muslim street prayer in the UK. Was it actually in the UK this time?
So I'll let you sit on the edge of your seat and wonder what the answer to that might be. I'm being tongue-in-cheek, of course, because usually these videos are fake. And here again, we have the claim that this is in the United Kingdom today. You can see there in the text, and that wasn't just in that particular share. Now, see if you might recognise where this particular scene took place. So there are some clues in the background, including the name of a bank, Crédit Mutuel, and I think for many that is they are scenes that are quite familiar to us here in Paris. So that is actually a scene that took place near the Mairie de Clichy, just in the northern suburbs of the city. And there again, when our observers team, and indeed Aude Degel, who did most of this research, she looked into some of the clues. You've got Cameo up here, which is a clothing store, and also Crédit Mutuel. Now, neither of them are present in the UK. So, and it is clearly, for those familiar with Paris streetscapes, something much closer to home for us here. Now, all of these were being shared in India for the most part. So I suppose it's fair to say that people in India might be fooled more easily about the urban landscapes and the backdrops of those images. The question remains, was it done on purpose or was it done accidentally that people were identifying this as the UK? One might question the motives.
And this is happening in the context of increasing amounts of fake news in India concerning the Muslim population there.
That's right. And in particular, video, if you have video form or image form, it gets a lot more traction. It elicits a lot more emotion, in fact. And this is in the context of fears in India that are being propagated by certain aspects of the body politic as well about the Muslim minority. And so there is quite a degree of sectarian hate speech going on, and then fake videos that are accompanying it. And that's being done on purpose, indeed, in some sectors. Now, this newspaper, The Print, talks about anti-Muslim fake news factories following anti-Semitic playbook. There's one example that they refer to, which is a pretty awful story in Gopalganj, rather. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Now, it was a story of a teenager who drowned in a river, and that was linked completely unfactually to him being sacrificed to make a local mosque powerful. A completely fake story, and again, photos of the family members eliciting an awful lot of emotion. So there are other examples as well, going back to last year, of fake news around coronavirus, where Muslims were accused of purposely spreading COVID-19 through coughing and licking of cutlery and whatever in stories that had absolutely nothing to do with this at all. So some quite sinister stuff, and some of it certainly being done on purpose. Whether those two videos we showed you at the top were purposely misleading or spread so widely in the context of prejudice, it's difficult to know.
Yeah, you have to think that people are spreading this on purpose.
Certainly, initially, I suppose those who were initially doing it, I think that's the probable answer.
Okay, James Creedon with our daily fact-checking segment, Truth or Fake. Thanks a lot, James.
Thanks, Monty.
Well, that's it for now. Stay tuned for more world news here on France 24.